Bernhard Riemann was born on September 17, 1826. He was a well-known German mathematician who contributed mainly in differential geometry, but also made important contributions in number theory and complex analysis.
In high school, George studied the Bible and wasn't really interested in mathematics. When he was old enough to decide which career he wanted to pursue, he decided to follow his father's footsteps, which were to become a pastor. He enrolled himself into the University of Göttingen, where he studied philosophy and theology. Then he realized he loved mathematics and decided to pursue his career as a mathematician at the University of Berlin.
In the University of Berlin, Riemann took courses of physics, mathematics, philosophy, and general education subjects. In 1851, he wrote his thesis on the complex function theory, which includes the Riemann integrals, that nowadays we use in our calculus classes.
The Riemann integrals are defined as ways to approximate the area under a curve, forming the integral. They can be calculated by three different processes, which are the right rectangle approximation method, left rectangle approximation method, or midpoint rectangle approximation method. The midpoint rectangle approximation is the process that results in the closest answer compared to the real value.
Okay, now we will do the first problem, which is the 3x squared plus 5 on the left RAM. Okay. The function is, as I said, 3x squared plus 5 and has the x1 of 2, x2 of 4, and the n is 4. To get delta x, we will do the x2 minus x1 over n, which is 4 minus 2 over 4, which gives us 0.5. First, on the table of values, we will have 5 x's to get the y values. The first one, since we start with the x1, will be 2, then 2.5, 3, 3.5, and finally 4 to end on the x squared, the x2. Then we substitute on the original function, 17, 23.75, 32, 41.75, and finally 4. Then we get the easy way to find the left RAM is to do delta x times all of these, which are the heights, to get the unit square. So we will do 0.5 times 17 plus 23.75 plus 32 plus 41.75 and until here, because we're only taking the values of the left RAM. On the right RAM will be only these. So we do the multiplication. .75, and the result is 57.25 units squared.
Today we're going to do the right RAM of this problem. And the first thing we need to do is to get delta x. And that is x2 minus x1 over n. So we have these values here. So the answer would be 4 minus 2 over 4. And that's equal to 0.5. So now that we got 0.5 and we must get from 2 to 4, we're gonna go 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. Then we gotta substitute for each value. So this is 17. 2.5 squared times 3 plus 5 is 23.75. Now 9 times 3 plus 5 is 32. Then 41.75. And finally 53. Since we're gonna get the right RAM, we must do from here to here without this one, because this one's for the left RAM. So we add everything here. And multiply it by delta x. Now we plug it in the calculator. And the final answer is 75.25.
Unit squared.
Units squared.
Now we're going to get the midpoint RAM. First, with the delta x that we already have, 0.5, we need to get the midpoint between the first point and the second point. And the first point is 2. In our table of values, we had 2 and 2.5. So we need to get the midpoint in here, which is 2 plus 2.5 divided by 2. And we get 2.25. So this is going to be our first point. So in our table of values, we get 2.25, and now we just have to add the delta x to each one to get all the points. 2.75, 3.25, and 3.75. We plug this in the original formula and we get 20.18, 27.68, 36.68, and 47.8. Now we have to add all these and multiply it by the delta x. And we get 65, 65.56 units squared.
In June 1862, Riemann married Elise Huck. They had one daughter. In the autumn of the year of his marriage, Riemann caught a heavy cold which turned to tuberculosis. Riemann tried to fight the illness by going to the warm climate of Italy, but however died at early age of 39.